Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Mix presented by CrossBones MMA Radio. I'm your host John Galloway, and our guest today is going to be Invicta Flyweight Andrea KGB Lee. With a 2-1 record, Andrea is on the rise in the Invicta organization, and she took a couple minutes out of her day to speak with us here. And we are now joined on the line by Andrea KGB Lee. Andrea, welcome to CrossBones MMA Radio. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How are y'all doing?
Doing awesome. Thanks for asking. So, Andrea, we're on the phone today. We got a fight about a month ago now, almost a month to the day. You fought Roxanne Modifari at Invicta 10 after a real short turnaround with Shannon Sin and Invicta 9. What was the reason for the short turnaround?
Well, I didn't get hurt, or injured in any kind of way in my fight with Shannon, so I was just eager to get another fight in before the end of the year was up. I was hoping to be 3-0 going into 2015, and that was my goal, so, I was just eager to fight.
Yeah, and just real quick, looking at your record here, your first fight, your professional debut was in September. It's listed as a TKO stoppage, a doctor stoppage, 10 seconds into the first round. Can you explain to the people listening how that happened?
Well, it was just a freak incident. I mean, I went in there and I threw a lead round kick, and the girl went to go block with her hand, and her fingers were open. She wasn't blocking with her fist. She had her hand wide open, and I happened to just break her finger in half, and it happened so quickly. It was just that was the only combination that was thrown during the whole entire fight. I mean, 10 seconds. There wasn't much that could have been thrown in that amount of time, but she glanced down at her hand, and she had to take a double take, and then the doctor stopped it. Said that obviously the fight couldn't go on. Her finger was broken in half, and she was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, that's a pretty successful professional debut, I think. When you throw one combination, you don't get touched at all, and you walk out with your first win.
Right.
So
yeah, it was it was great. It was unfortunate because I was hoping to fight a little bit longer than that, but everybody wants to go in there and get a knockout in the first 10 seconds. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Conserve themselves.
Now, when we were setting up this interview, you had said that the timing of the interview worked out well because you would be done teaching. Do you teach full time? Is that something that you do outside of fighting?
I do, because I'm always at the gym. The gym is it's my husband and my job. We own our own gym, and we train people. We train fighters. We train women, who want to just do cardio, and we have a little kids karate class. So I'm constantly doing something. I also have personal clients that want to come in and just get in shape, or some that just want to learn how to self-defense. So I'm constantly staying busy when I'm not training.
Now, is this something that you've been involved with for a long time? Like, what's your background? What's your history of getting involved in mixed martial arts?
I've only been training about 5 years now. I started in 2009, at the end of 2009, and prior to that, I was just a server. I was waiting tables, and growing up, I'd always been interested in martial arts. I just never had the opportunity to be a part of anything like this. I didn't have the money, and It also didn't. My hometown didn't really offer anything like that. So once I moved to Shreveport, I started to see advertisements for martial arts gyms and karate, kickboxing, boxing. There's quite a bit of that around here. And finally, after I had been working for a little bit, I got the money that I needed, and I started to look for a gym. And people started talking about Donnie Aaron, and so I went to him, and I've been training ever since. So that's pretty much how I got started.
And how did you get into the fight game? Was it something that just naturally evolved from your training? Was it something that you had in mind that this is what you wanted to pursue and that's why you started training? How did that all work out for you?
Well, at first I just wanted to do it as a hobby. I just wanted to, I wanted to be a good fighter, and I started out with just boxing. Donnie took me in my first boxing competition tournament, like 5 months after I had been there, after I'd been training. But I had been training every day, so I was getting a lot of one-on-one, and I was training 4 hours a day, and so in that 5 months I learned a lot. And I ended up winning my first Golden Glove tournament, and then we ended up having another fight after that, and then we went to the Women's National Golden Glove. And I ended up placing second there, and from there, that was when Donnie was like, hey, let's try and see if we can go to the Olympics, you know, and that's when it started to get serious. I mean, the Olympics was not on my mind at all. I was just there having a good time, you know, and then the next thing I know, he's getting real.
Yeah.
He's like, let's train for the Olympics. I'm like, okay. And so just been training hard ever since, and then that, you know, once they let women into the UFC, we, you know, realized that was just a bigger and better opportunity for us. And I don't know, the window of opportunity of getting into the Olympics, competing in the Olympics, was a lot smaller than this window. So
Sure.
we thought this would be the best route.
Now, is the UFC the ultimate goal? I know right now there you don't have a weight class that for you. Would you be interested in either moving up or dropping down if that opportunity came around?
The UFC definitely is my long term goal. Sorry, not long term, but I think that I'm just going to wait until 125 weight class opens up. I'm not interested in moving up because that's, I don't know, the girls in that weight class are much bigger than me, and the girls, I couldn't even make it to 115. I mean, there's no way that I can make it to 115. I would just have to, like, cut off a leg or something.
Yeah, anybody who's seen you fight can see that you're not carrying around a lot of extra body weight when you go into the cage. So I could definitely see that being a hard cut.
It would be. I mean, I haven't. My weight cut. The more and more that I cut to 125, it seems like it gets easier. But that's just because I'm figuring it out and I know what works good for me. But there was one time I tried to get down to 122 to do like a catch weight, and it was so hard. I struggled so much just getting to there, and I don't think that I could have cut another 7 pounds to go to 115.
Sure.
So I think I definitely will be staying at 125, and I'm sure that they'll open up at 125 eventually. But until then, you know, I am perfectly fine with being an Invicta fighter. I love Invicta, and I love Shannon and Julie Kedzie. I mean, they just make you feel like you're at home with them. You know, and they don't seem to like, I don't know, I don't feel like they have like favorites, you know, they don't, I think they treat everybody the same, and I'm really enjoying it.
Now, getting back to Invicta and your recent fights, coming off the Shannon Sin fight, like we said, there was a quick turnaround with Roxanne Modifari. When the fight was announced, she actually released a video thanking you for taking the fight. You guys came out, you went to battle, 3 rounds, went to a split decision. It was a very close fight. You both looked great. But then right afterwards, there was a lot of and friendly back and forth between the two of you on social media, Facebook, Twitter, those things, joking around. Was there a friendship beforehand with her, or was this something that developed kind of on the fly, getting ready for your fight?
Well, I think we definitely didn't have a friendship before our fight. She probably didn't. The only time that she might have like really finally knew who I was with my fight against Shannon Sin. I think that was the first time that she saw me, because I remember her posting a video or posting a comment on Twitter saying, "My coach asked me if I was sure that I wanted to fight Andrea Lee." And she's like, "Sure, coach, I'll fight anybody." And then they showed us the video, and then they showed me the video, and she's like, "Oh, that's KGB." So she had already seen me fight, but no, we didn't know each other beforehand. But I just have a lot of respect for her, and I think that, me taking the fight on short notice and only in being new as a pro and going up against a veteran like that, I think that she just has a lot of respect for that, for me, for doing that, and for being able to put on a really good show and still be able to compete well, actually. And I was even able to handle her ground game. I mean, I was able to keep her from submitting me. And I was able to, I wasn't able to keep it standing like I had hoped, like I had wanted to. But it was a pretty tough fight, and I was able to hang in there.
Yeah, and I know
I don't know.
It's when you're going into these fights, it's sometimes, the term moral victory gets thrown around. But I really don't want to. I really, like to say that neither of you lost that fight. I think you gained a lot of fans. I think you gained a lot of respect that night. And you guys both looked fantastic going into the judge's decision. I know the people I was with, we definitely didn't know who was going to get the nod because you both came across looking great.
Well, and not taking anything away from Roxanne, because she is a tough fighter, and she deserves where she's at. But there's something that a lot of people don't know. A few days leading up to the fight, my coach and I, we were drilling, and we were just doing tech sparring, and he ended up hitting me a little bit harder than I was supposed to be hit, and he caused me to rupture my eardrum, which really sucks. So going into that fight, because of the ruptured eardrum, it caused me to have an ear infection, and I was running a fever, and I was not 100%. And I know that most fighters going into a fight are not 100% fit. I wasn't even like 90%, and I felt like so weak in the cage. And whenever she would clinch up with me, I felt like there was just nothing I could do. I felt, God, it was just, I was like, man, she's so strong. But it was because I was so freaking weak, and I couldn't think. I was just focusing on keeping a whizzer. I was like, whizzer. And I wasn't paying attention to what my feet were doing, and I was leaving my foot out away from the fence when I should have had it stuck up to the fence. And so that was giving her the opportunity to reap my leg and sweep me the way that she was. And I totally blacked out after the second round. I don't even remember anything in the third round. I just remember thinking, I can't let her submit me. She had my back. I was like, man, I'm not going out like this. And, and then I ended up shaking her off of me in the last second in the bell rang. But, I mean, it was a good fight considering. But I felt like I could have been and could have done a whole lot better than that performance that I gave.
Yeah, and I'd actually heard that from you in another interview that you did with a friend of ours. But, so, like he had said at the time, it's very impressive knowing that, in hindsight, that you weren't 100%. But I wanted to ask you about something that happened as you were entering the cages that night, and they asked you to take off your ankle supports. Did they ever give you a reason why they asked you to do that?
No. And the guy that, he wasn't even sure if I was allowed to have them on or not. I think that all of the commissioners have a different set of rules there in Texas, because one commissioner allowed Roxanne to keep her knee sleeves on, but then I had to take my ankle sleeves off.
Right.
It was weird and confusing how that worked. I just don't even understand why they made a big deal about my ankle sleeves. But that did kind of bother me there before the fight.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of different wardrobe issues that night, from them having Peggy Morgan cut the bottom of her pants. Somebody had, they had the full leg rash guards on. To Herika's, 1980s tank top or half shirt. The whole evening just seemed very strange when it came to the wardrobe. But looking forward now, have you spoken to Shannon or Julie about what's next for you and what you have coming up?
Well, we were hoping to get on the next card the next Invicta part. We had spoken with them, and they're eager to have me on the next show. Only thing is I might not be able to if their show is in the next month or two, because I found out yesterday that I have to have ear surgery on my eardrum, because the doctor said that the hole is so big that I'm going to have surgery in order to repair it. Because he said it would be a miracle for it to heal up on its own. So that's going to leave me down for about 8 weeks.
So that's an 8-week layoff following the surgery?
Yeah. Do you say it again?
I said that's an 8-week layoff following the surgery?
Yes. I mean, I'll be able to after the first week, I think I'll be able to get back in and do some drilling and running and cardio stuff. But I won't be able to get hit because he said any kind of jarring might knock it loose, something like that. I'm not familiar with the surgery. He explained it to me, but I was only able to grasp so much of what he was saying. But he said that I'll have to be very careful and treat it delicately until it heals up, or at least until 3 weeks goes by, and then maybe I can get back into drilling and doing some other type of stuff. But he said definitely no sparring before then.
Now, have you set the surgery up yet? Is there a date for that, or with you just finding out yesterday?
We haven't set it up. We both agreed the sooner the better. I told him that I had fights coming up and that I don't need to put the surgery off because I can't fight with a busted eardrum.
Right.
Because last time it didn't help me. It definitely will hinder me. And so we're going to try to get it as soon as possible. I just got to go see some specialists and have a consultation and get it set up. So we'll see. Hopefully within the next week or two.
Now, when you had your conversations with Invicta prior to this, were there names being thrown around for your next opponent? Is there somebody that you're interested in facing, or was it just whoever they put in front of you next?
No names were thrown around. We're just eager to get in there. So whoever they want to put in front of me, I'm willing to compete against. I don't have anybody specific. There's no special fighter out there that I'm interested in getting a hold of right now. Just whoever they want to give me.
All right, now just another couple of questions before I let you go here. I appreciate your time, like I said in the beginning. KGB, where is that from?
Mm-hmm. My husband, actually, he's since way back when we met, he's always told me I look kind of Russian or European, and I just had those, like a Russian girl feature, so he kind of started calling me KGB, and it stuck. Everybody else in my gym started calling me KGB, and it just kind of, it kind of grew on me. At first, I was like, man, that's stupid. Stop calling me that. But they wouldn't stop, so now it's KGB.
Do you ever get people, or are you ever worried about people when you come out with the KGB and you have the Soviet flag as part of your uniform? Ever worried about like a backlash or people saying anything to you?
No, I don't really. It doesn't really concern me. I mean, everybody has weird, their own weird nicknames, and I understand, the politics that could be involved, but I mean, it's not. I'm not into politics like that. That's not why I have the KGB nickname. I did have some people that are like that'll tweet me and be like, "You should change your name. You know what the KGB did. You should research. You should know your history." Or like, that's we're not. This isn't about politics. Okay, right. It's just a nickname. Okay, have you ever heard of like being sarcasm? So. I don't really let it get to me. Most people actually like it, so.
Yeah, it gives you an air of mystery because a lot of people look at you and they wonder. They go, "Is she Russian or is she's from Louisiana?" So, it gives you that air of mystery and gets people talking. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, and maybe most people, people probably don't even question it because I've had Russians tell me that I was Russian. So I'm sure that most people will be like, "Well, maybe she is Russian." And so that's why they gave her the nickname. So she's just got Russian heritage, and she's Russian. So I'm sure that a lot of people just, blow it off and don't even think about it because they think that maybe I am Russian.
Well, let's settle it. Are you Russian?
That's fine. Not that I know.
All right.
But I don't know my full heritage yet. So I've been trying to find out what's on my dad's side of the family, but they don't even know. So
you're gonna have to go to Ancestry.com. You're gonna have to go to Ancestry.com to figure it out. Yes,
that's what I'm gonna have to put some money into that. I heard that costs a lot, but I would like to know.
So before I let you go, any sponsors, obviously the Karate Mafia, anybody you want to give a shout out to here?
I do. I'd like to thank my Herbalife sponsor for helping me out with my nutrition and keeping me healthy and fit during my times of need, which is all the time. And I'd also like to thank Classic Stone and Cash Time, I'm sorry. I always do that. Cash Time. And Karate Mafia and everybody at the Combat Academy, all my training partners, Donnie Aaron, Brent Mason, and Alan Smith, everybody that helps to get me ready for my fight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. All of my friends and my family, thank you so much for being there for me. You guys have a great night.
And where can people find you on social media if they want to follow along with what's going on?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. It's under the same name, Andrea Lee Aaron, all one word, no underscores or anything, so just Andrea Lee Aaron. And for my Facebook fan page, it's Andrea KGB Lee.
All right. Well, Andrea, thank you very much for joining us today. We'd love to have you back sometime down the road, either post-surgery, pre-fight, or really anytime we can get you here. It was very nice speaking to you. And again, thank you from CrossBones MMA for your time tonight.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed being here tonight. Hopefully I'll be back on soon, and try to get this surgery out of the way and get back to fighting.
Absolutely. Anytime. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
And there you have it. Want to thank Andrea KGB Lee once again for joining us today on In the Mix, presented by CrossBones MMA Radio. Follow us at CrossBones MMA on Twitter and go to our Facebook fan page at facebook.com/CrossBonesMMA. Until next time, this is John Galloway for Andrea KGB Lee. We are tapping out.